If you guys are true fans, you should know that my favorite character in Overwatch is Winston, and my favorite character in Super Smash Bros. Is Donkey Kong. Why? Because they're both gorillas, and I love me some gorillas. Gorillas are strong, gorillas are thick, but then more recently I realized I don't really know anything about gorillas in general. I had to go to the one place that I knew had gorillas and learn more about them. I went to the Los Angeles Zoo. I put on my most touristy outfit and tried to learn.
I think the gorillas are that way. I think so. Let's go.
But what I discovered was much different than I ever expected. While I was correct about the gorillas being quite thick,
That's a Donkey Kong right there.
the gorillas were sad. Why? Because I told them that Donkey Kong is low tier. Sakurai, save the gorillas. Make Donkey Kong high tier. Donkey Kong is the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. Wait a minute, this isn't my script? This is the DK rap lyrics. Ugh, where's my script at? There it is, okay. Donkey Kong is one of the original Nintendo characters ever. He came out the exact same time that Mario came out. In fact, Mario was just called Jumpman and he was just Donkey Kong. And the game was called Donkey Kong. It was later retconned so that apparently the old school Donkey Kong was actually Cranky Kong. It's a little bit confusing because now they're like friends and they play Mario Kart together. Back then they were enemies, you know, whatever. DK is most famous for his side-scrolling Donkey Kong Country series, where he fights his main foe, King K. Rool. He's even got a nephew, Diddy Kong, who's a monkey? Wait, what? These two are not the same species, are they? How are they related? My personal favorite Donkey Kong games have to be the Donkey Konga rhythm games, where you have to use those bongos to play. And that actually was his old Final Smash, but now it's just a bunch of punches. You'll be missed. Donkey Kong and music go hand in hand. I mean, of course you got the DK rap, but did you know that Donkey Kong is a highly trained classical singer? You would know this if you watched the show Donkey Kong Country. Please don't watch it, it is garbage. Well, Donkey Kong is iconic and my favorite Nintendo character, but now that you know a little bit about him, let's learn how to play him, shall we? Donkey Kong's two strongest aspects are his left arm and his right arm, because you know that these things are strong as hell, and they got a pretty good reach. His tilt attacks are going to be your bread and butter because these things come out fast, they have a good range, and they are very strong.
So can play at that game.
His down tilt is one of his fastest moves and will catch a lot of people off guard. Some people won't even know how to cope with it. His regular tilt attack looks like he's slapping people. Let's be honest, this is probably what he does to Diddy Kong when Diddy Kong gets out of hand. His up tilt, which I like to call hey, is one of his strongest tilt attacks. He looks like he's just waving like a valley girl, but this thing is deceptively strong. It can actually kill at pretty low percentages. One of my favorite moves to use for Donkey Kong is his dash attack, which is just him rolling. Move aside, Hammond, we got a new roller in town. But for real, this move is very fast and actually very strong and can lead into some pretty simple combos. Sometimes you could just spam it. But you're not here for this. You want to see Donkey Kong get some sick kills, right? Then you're going to want to use any of his smash attacks. His down smash is just him taking his arms and then hammering them down on both sides of him, which can be useful when people are trying to dodge away from your attacks. But his forward smash, mwah, it's beautiful. You just got to clap them cheeks. People are about to catch these hands, you know what I mean? His up smash is just him clapping on top of him. It was at that moment he realized he f***ed up. Two of his strongest moves are just him clapping. Cause, well, DK loves clapping. Let's talk about Donkey Kong's air moves. Donkey Kong's neutral attack is him just spinning around doing some damage. It's good for getting a little bit of damage on your enemy, but it won't kill. Now, Donkey Kong's forward air is him spinning around his fists.
Monkey go.
It's a little bit slow, but if you time it right, it can actually spike.
No! That actually spikes if you hit it right.
Oh, I'm aware. Oh, I'm aware. See ya.
So, I'll be honest. That was a warm up.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
His down air can also spike as well, and is good for pushing people down on the floor. Donkey Kong's up air is one of his strongest killing moves off the top. You'll find that you'll need a pretty high IQ to understand it, so that means a lot of you guys probably can't, but for the rest of you guys, just use your head. And by far, one of Donkey Kong's best moves is his back air. It is one of the fastest moves he has in neutral, and is a really good option to kill off the stage. You're going to want to use this move as much as you can to get damage because it is just so incredibly fast. Now, in order to play Donkey Kong correctly, you have to be using his grab moves. His back throw is reliable for killing at decent percentages, his up throw is good for comboing off the top, and his down throw is pretty meh, so don't use it. Because his forward throw, that's the best one. Now, what you do with the forward throw is that you pick up the enemy and you put him on your back, and that gives you a couple options. The first option you have is to do what used to be called the ding dong combo, but it has been kind of nerfed. Before, you could use the ding dong combo, put him on your back, throw him up, and then hit him with the up air, and that would kill at pretty decent percentages. Now you have to be at a pretty high percentage to actually get a kill with it. Instead, you're going to want to pick up somebody, hit him with a stage spike. What does this mean? It means you take him off the stage, throw him on the corner of the stage, and it will kill him if you can do it correctly.
You can't do it on the stage. You can't do it on the stage.
Just be careful, people can button mash out of this, but most people online are pretty bad, so you should be able to easily just throw them into the corner of the stage and get a free kill.
Oh no.
Yes!
That was not a good attack.
That was all I wanted to do was that.
Now, Donkey Kong's special moves are a little underwhelming, but some of them are going to be pretty useful for you. Let's start with his neutral special, his wind-up punch. You can charge up a punch kind of like how Samus charges up her beams. You charge up your punch, and then after it's fully charged, you can let out a humongously strong punch. This punch can kill at very low percentages if you land it. And it also has a little bit of that super armor. His down special is the earthquake slam thing that he does, and it's not the most useful thing, but noobs will fall for it pretty easily because, I mean, they're noobs. It has a decent range, so sometimes people will be caught off guard with it, but I wouldn't recommend using it. However, it does spike in the air, so that is another option you have to spike people into the floor. Now his side B is really awesome because it buries the opponent into the ground. When someone's buried into the ground with this, you can do a couple things. You can either just punch them, or you can turn them into a DK sandwich, because get it, your left hand and your right hand, they're like the bread, and their face is like the meat, so it's like a DK sandwich. Just do it. His up special is his recovery move, and to be completely honest, it is not the greatest at vertical recovery. However, it has an extremely good horizontal recovery. It is very predictable, so people can easily edgeguard you off the map, even a Jigglypuff. But seriously man, his recovery vertically is so whack. Because I am the greatest Winston main of all time, that makes me kind of an expert on gorillas, and since I spent all this time and money going to the zoo to learn about them, you should know that makes me the greatest Donkey Kong who has ever set foot on this planet.
Hey man, look, it's DK. Get it? Cause he's trash.
Pro tip number 1. After you knock your opponent off the stage, charge up your neutral special so you have your wind-up punch for later. Just the thought of you punching them scares them so much that they kill themselves. Number 2, you should really be using Donkey Kong's spikes. You should be practicing going off stage and trying to land the spikes. You have down B, you have down A, you have forward A. These are all good spike options. Man, Donkey Kong has more spikes than Bowser. Number 3, don't ever, and I mean this, do not ever use the green Donkey Kong. It is by far the ugliest Donkey Kong skin to use. Stupid. Don't use Donkey Kong's teabag. You just look like a sad human being. It doesn't even look like a teabag. Look at Ken's teabag. Beautiful. Look at your teabag. You look lost and confused. Donkey Kong is by far my favorite Nintendo character. But how viable is he? Well, he is one of the heaviest characters, meaning that he will survive at extremely high percentages, and a lot of his moves are awesome. However, his weak recovery, lack of projectiles, and overall kind of mid-range attacks that he has makes him one of the more mediocre characters. So I would put him in B tier. But what do you guys think? Am I overrating him, underrating him, or perfectly rating him? Let me know in the comments below. But with that, I'll catch you later. You noob!
Big fan, as you can tell.
Of Africa.
Yeah. Toto's Africa specifically. As you can see, a bunch of falcon in their natural habitat. Fire!